Hey there guys, what's happening and welcome back to our channel. Many people have questioned Tony Stark's decisions in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's always had the world's best interests at heart, but his choices wreaked havoc, including the Ultron debacle and the Avengers' Civil War. Let's look at Spider-Man theory. Why did Tony Stark recruit Peter Parker? Number 5. Why did Tony Stark recruit Peter Parker? Many people believe Peter Parker was too young and that Tony abused his abilities. Still, after watching Spider-Man Homecoming again, the true reason he was recruited was not for the teen's potential. With No Way Home plunging Pete's life into disaster, one must wonder if it was appropriate to place a child on such a heroic route given that he was reckless and immature. Tony implied that he only needed Peter for one crucial aspect of his upbringing, courtesy of a key exchange from Homecoming. Tony told Pete he wasn't ready when he contacted him from India and chastised him for ruining the arrest of Vulture's gang in Maryland. Tony laughed it off when Pete suggested he needed greater responsibility, as when he battled and nearly beat Captain America at the German airport in Civil War. According to the computer entrepreneur, Cap would have cleaned the floor with Peter if he truly wanted to, and that begs the question of why he would send Pete to capture Cap's shield. Steve would have pursued the adolescent, but Tony put the boy in harm's way in hopes of eliciting pity from his foe. He must have anticipated Peter's inability to keep his mouth quiet and realized that once he began yapping about New York, Cap would be disarmed. Tony expected that Steve would engage the boy and amuse his conversation, as he often did. As a result, Steve complimented the aspiring Spidey on his heart and inquired about his origins. Pete informed him he's from Queens, and Steve added that he was from Brooklyn in a humorous yet heartbreaking moment. Tony and War Machine needed Peter to distract Cap to catch the Winter Soldier. Naturally, it was a great strategy to appeal to the native dreamers from the Big Apple, but it backfired when Team Cap escaped and Rhodey was injured. Nonetheless, it explains Tony's risk in utilizing Pete and why he didn't want him to participate in any more wild missions after that. Number 4. Spider-Man and Civil War. Fighting fugitive heroes and learning that Iron Man had developed a Thor clone and a jail for the unregistered in the negative zone left a bad taste in his mouth. He even discovered that Iron Man was tracking him with the Iron Spider armor. Spider-Man interrupted a news broadcast after joining the team and reconnecting with his wife and Anne, proclaiming his error of registration, pledging his loyalty to the anti-registered, and delivering a description of the negative zone prison. After Captain America's capture and death, Spider-Man was one of the few heroes who refused to accept the universal amnesty and continued to operate with the underground New Avengers. Peter was devastated by Cap's death, even blaming himself for his death, even though he wasn't there at the time of the shooting. Spider-Man watched Cap's burial on TV with the New Avengers after meeting with Rhino and receiving condolences from Wolverine. When the team pondered why they didn't go, he claimed that they couldn't risk being jailed by Tony Stark. Number 3. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. Peter Parker, best known as the web-slinging and wall-crawling Spider-Man, is a full-time superhero who alternates between being a student, a scientist, and a photographer. Uncle Ben and Aunt May raised Peter as an orphaned youngster. Peter was bitten by an errant radioactive spider during a science fair, giving him a variety of arachnid abilities. He first became Spider-Man to exploit his capabilities as entertainment, but he got so arrogant that he didn't care to stop a passing burglar. Peter's Uncle Ben was murdered by the same burglar, which made him understand that he needed to utilize his skills wisely. From then on, Spider-Man became a vigilante in the battle against crime. Number 2. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Tony Stark was a wealthy businessman and the former CEO of Stark Industries. He was a founding member of the Avengers and the previous CEO of Stark Industries. Stark is self-described as a genius, millionaire, playboy, and philanthropist, despite his bravado. Iron Man's superpowers are derived from his metallic suit of armor and other technology developed by his alter ego Tony Stark. Tony's artificial neural system has been upgraded, giving him enhanced healing abilities, enhanced perception, and the ability to fuse with his suit of armor. Number 1. Spider-Man and Tony Stark. Spider-Man was rarely summoned to join Earth's mightiest heroes on their various missions, despite his rank as a reserve Avenger. Tony, on the other hand, saw Peter's promise as a scientific protege and a heroic companion, and soon adopted him as his new right-hand man. Tony adored Peter and frequently took the role of Uncle Ben as Spider-Man's father figure. However, when it comes to his protege, the hero hasn't always made the finest parenting judgments. Tony Stark also gave Peter the Edith spectacles. To conclude, Tom Holland first appears as Peter Parker in the MCU in Captain America: Civil War, when Tony Stark recruits him to assist him in apprehending Captain America and his renegade Avengers. So what's your take on Tony Stark recruiting Peter Parker in the Avengers? Let us know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and do remember to hit the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And we'll catch you guys later in another video. Bye now!